What is up, guys? Rick Hackas here, going over the unique red text laser, the Firestarta, in Borderlands, the pre-sequel. Now, aside from being probably the most patriotic gun in the entire game, this gun is actually also just pretty decent, and because it's kind of in a random side quest where there's actually two choices at the end, you may have overlooked this laser. Now, you acquire this gun from completing the Torgo quest given to you by Springs. Now, upon completion, you can either side with Mr. Torg or with Springs. Now, I know for myself, I just side from Mr. Torg just because I love Mr. Torg. Who doesn't? But arguably the better gun is the Firestarta, so if you side with Springs at the end of the quest, you will get this weapon as a quest reward. Now, weapons with red text have unique attributes that most other weapons of that variety do not have. The Firestarta has the red text start some trouble. Now, what this does is it always spawns in a fire element, and it has greatly increased elemental damage and the chance to actually create this elemental effect. So you are going to be lighting quite a few people on fire, hence the name Firestarta. Now, the rest of the stats of this gun aren't unbelievable, but none of them are lacking. It has quite a decent magazine size, very good rate of fire, and very high accuracy. And you've got to remember that since this weapon is Dahl, it has the added benefit that when you aim down sights, you will do a burst shot. When you are aiming down sights in burst fire mode, this gun's accuracy increases massively. You can easily pick off guys by getting entire bursts on their head in order to get those criticals. Now, sometimes Dahl guns suffer in that they are really good zoomed in getting those accurate shots, but when you zoom out, the rate of fire just isn't there, and I haven't found this with the Firestarta. When you are zoomed out, you have a pretty tight reticle, so your accuracy is decent enough that you can even extend into medium range, especially if you have any sort of attributes with your character that increases the accuracy. And coupled with that, the rate of fire is decently high. The fact that this gun is effective in both zoomed down sight burst fire mode and zoomed out just fully automatic spray and pray is actually, again, it's such a big deal because usually Dahl guns, they suffer in one of the two, but since this is good in both modes, I actually do find myself, if there's enemies at long range, I will zoom in, burst fire them, get headshots no problem, and if they get close, I can easily transition into fully automatic zoomed out of sights. Now, although the high elemental chance and damage is nice to have, I mean, it's pretty awesome shooting a guy and just walking away and letting him die without even firing another shot at him, it does have the downside that is Incendiary. Now, Incendiary is good against purely red enemies, just red health enemies, but the problem is, I found in my playthrough of Borderlands the pre-sequel, there's just a colossal amount of enemies that have shields. And honestly, shock elemental guns seem to be much more useful. I mean, frankly, this game is not quite balanced properly in terms of the different elemental guns. So against red health enemies, this gun is very effective, and it can even shoot through light shields and then get into the red health enemies, but because there's so many guys with shields, and along the campaign, especially nearing the end of the campaign when pretty much every single enemy has shields, especially when you're fighting the Guardian aliens, this gun kind of falls out of usefulness, but in its element, which is Incendiary, it's quite good. It also should be noted that I am playing a laser Wilhelm build, so I've got quite a few things on that increase laser damage. So if you're not playing Wilhelm, you may not match the exact damage output that you're seeing in this video. However, every class has its own abilities, increasing gun damage, increasing damage with a certain manufacturer even, so you will come probably close enough to matching this damage output. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any recommendations for red text weapons you want to see level 70 reviews on, please leave it in the comment section below. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe, and as always, have a good day.